talk, real people, real conversation. Week to week, this the place to get your inspiration. Go and sit back and unwind, sipping on your coldest glass of wine. This the home of girl bosses and the warriors. Went from tragedy to triumph and it's glorious. Ain't no question if they ask, they got that fire. This the podcast that came to Aspire. Welcome to Aspire Podcast, home of the real. Real talk, real people, real stories. Give it up one time for y'all hosts, Sujay.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. It is Aspired Podcast. It's Podcast Thursday, aka Friday Eve, and we got a friend because you're family at this time. You're my big brother.
Big brother, that's right.
Introduce yourself, but everybody should know who the heck you are. So go ahead, babe.
My name is DJ JayMob, aka the Pip Dealer, aka the old school dinosaur hip hop master and disaster in the building.
JayMob, you need to be on radio. Has anybody ever told you that?
No.
You need to be on radio.
Not said that. Nope.
Yes, that was like a whole, I was like listening, like, okay, stay tuned for, like the quiet storm at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be doing something like that.
Yeah.
Welcome back, man.
I'm happy to be back.
I know.
You're like my sister, so.
This is
2
family.
years. It's been 2 years.
2 years, but we're family
yeah,
at this point, for real.
Family's the point, exactly.
But you got a lot going on. You
I
got
do.
a lot of good things.
I do.
And I'm really proud of you.
I appreciate that. A lot of hard work.
And it is, you work like nobody else in this business.
Yeah.
And I respect that you are just so humble.
I appreciate that. I'm trying to be,
I don't even think you try. It's just who you are. You just chill. Everything about you is just like laid back and low key.
You just gotta be.
And in this world and in this industry, it's appreciated from somebody like me who we don't get a lot of those. So thank you. Why are you here? Tell me. Listen, first of all, I'm just going to jump into your album. Like, let's talk about it because it's been in the works for a while.
Been in the works for a while. Yeah.
For a long time.
3 years since I spoke.
I know,
to you
like,
last time.
I'm like, we spoke about.
Yeah.
So tell everybody about it a little bit, whatever you can say.
The last time I was on the show, if you remember, I had the project Women on Wax. And it was 4 songs on the 45 that I had. And then I said that after I do that, I had all this other music that I need to put out. I had Smith & Wesson on there. I had Craig G like 8 or 9 times. Prince Pole. We had Master Ace. So I had recorded all this music that I was sitting on. You know what I'm saying? And then I read a post from Jazzy Jeff said, "You can't die empty." I don't know if you've seen that one before.
That's a T-shirt.
Right, but he said, "You can't die empty." And I said, because a friend of mine sent it to me, I was like, what does that mean? So I started listening to it. He said, "You can't die empty," which means you got to put the music out, because if you die tomorrow, that music you hold on to. Why do that? So put it out. So all this music now, to me, is in the ER. It's got to be put out. I've been holding it. When am I holding it?
Now you got to do it.
I got to put it out. So that's kind of why I've been like putting all this music out and promoting it, because I still got like 30 more songs I got to put out within like now and in a year or so. You know what I'm saying? So after this album's done, I'm gonna put out more music, because I've had all these features. I've been sitting on it. I'm like, why am I sitting on it? It needs to go out. Yeah.
Why did you sit on it? Like, what was the purpose for that?
I don't know. It's like sometimes you don't get motivated to do things.
Okay.
You have all this great music.
That's real.
You have all this great music. You want to put it out, share it with the world, but you go through life and all these type of things, and you just get that sign, and the sign was like, it's almost like knocks on your door. Knock, 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 knock. We're here. You're ready to go. We're like, well, I'm not ready. I want to put out next week. You've been saying that since last year. We're gonna put it out next year. We're gonna put it out next year, and then next year comes, and then it never comes out.
Or you don't. Yeah. Are you the kind of guy, because I feel like with me, when I'm super motivated is kind of when I'm at the most peaceful in my life, or like when things are good. But when things are messy, are you the kind of person that I don't really want to be out there in these streets, so I don't really want to promote? It doesn't feel genuine or
it does.
Whatever.
Like when I go to the beer commission, I'm just kind of humble, whatever else. But when I have music and I have to put it out, I know I got to be out there in the space. But if I'm not feeling right, then I don't feel right. Like if I'm down or up and down, how life goes. You don't want to. You want to have music, and then you want to have it out. And most times it's like, well, I'm might have a down week. I might not want to be out at that time. You know what I'm saying? They got to put a fix.
I know what you're saying.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. For me, I'm the same way. But in this industry, if you're not doing and moving and grooving, and like somebody else will come, and that's the mindset, right? I put something out on Instagram the other day, and it was Sade, who's one of my favorites. Congratulations,
Awesome, yeah.
you know,
Way
she's
overdue.
yeah,
Way overdue.
like she is the.
She's the queen of it all.
Yes. Thank you, because I I agree.
She's the
So,
queen of it all.
but I put it out there because it was essentially her saying that a reason why she had taken a break in a moment in her music career, and that people judged that because she was at the height of whatever she was at the height of, and that sometimes she says that people frown upon taking these breaks and taking these moments because they're like, well, they don't really want it. But sometimes you don't got shit to give, and I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it like that. You don't got shit to give anybody else, and you got to take care of you, or you got to take care of yours. The art is within you. It's not anywhere else, right? Only you can create what you can create. So it's like, yeah, I get that. You have to sometimes take care of yours so that you can create more beautiful things
Inner
than you ever.
peace. You have to have inner peace with yourself.
I agree. I'm listen, this is crazy, but yeah, I feel that more than ever now. So it's like creating this album. And how long? Aren't you so freaking proud though?
I am.
Like, aren't you like?
I am. It's humbling because I'm listening to people and they're loving it. You know, it's like you give them something, a piece of what you wanted to give out to the world, and then people are coming back and saying, "Yeah, the album's dope." I got people in Japan playing it. You know, overseas here in Orlando. Everyone in Orlando. You know, I got the article.
Oh, I already know.
Orlando Weekly. So a lot of people are liking what I'm doing. I kind of knew that when I was starting the album. But then, like I said, when you're going through the pieces and you're going through all the rigmarole of the album, you want it to be perfect, you know. So sometimes you have records that you may scratch or whatever else, and you got to try to put together, but you don't know how the other people are gonna take it. So long as I played it to death in my own studio over and over and over again. I said, you know what, I'm happy with this, and I'm good with it, right? So I'm gonna put it out there, and if it doesn't get any approval or whatever else, I'm good because I put it out there. But I know people are gonna want to hear it because. I'm taking people back to the 90s and how I felt in those days and times. You know?
I loved it. I will say that you made me feel like I was at, I grew up in New York, like an old school basement party, and I was just chilling, and people are smoking and drinking and hanging out, and it's just like, but my favorite.
Exactly.
That's why we go to the commissions of the world and places like that, because it gives you that nostalgia feeling.
Right, exactly.
What really pushed you? What in life? Because I know you, and you don't do anything that feels ingenuine. But what in life really made you be like, damn, now is the time?
My father passed like 3 or 4 years ago. Mom was by herself. I'm getting older, you know, and it's just time. I just felt it was just time, you know. Like when I look at all these other artists, people have become successful, and for a long time, I was wondering, why didn't I get this kind of success in 20s and 30s and 40s? Now I'm in 50s. And a friend of mine said, it just wasn't your time. You know, the man upstairs said, it wasn't your time. You're not, you're not ready for it. It's just not your time.
Yeah.
So when I try to fight it, it just wouldn't work. And a friend of mine said, you know, you got to let the universe take over. And I used to say, man, it's garbage, whatever. And now I'm just like.
I believe that shit, though.
Now
that garbage, I believe.
I believe it like to death now because if you force something to try to do something, it won't work. I was hitting my head against the wall. Boom, 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 boom. Going to all these seminars, send out music all these years, nothing. And then I said, you know what? This is time now. Everything's lining up. All the planets lined up. So I was like, wow, that was my sign. You know what I'm saying?
Can I tell you something, though, that I truly believe, and I don't really care if anybody else agrees with me when it comes to you, is that I don't think you have not had success. Somebody reached out to me and was like, yo, that's a guy that did this song for this guy. Oh my God, like, you know him? And I was like, yeah. And I felt so proud of you. Like, it wasn't even a boasting thing. It was just genuinely like, yeah, that's my brother. Right. So I wouldn't, like, I'm learning in this season that success looks different for everybody. Right. So what's success for that person, you may think, wow, but you don't even know the background story it took for them to get there. Right. And for them, it may not be their success. Right. It may be like, oh, this was my downfall. Like, I would say that in the last year, my podcast has grown in success, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
But in the last year, life has been not successful, in my opinion, in many ways, right? So it's like you don't know what success looks like. It's just what it feels
What
like.
it feels like, right?
What
So
it feels
so
like.
I felt as if that I needed to, like, 'cause I see people and people like know who I am, but you know, you're not Jay-Z, you're not. But I always tell people, if I was living in New York, if I was in Brooklyn, I would have been those guys, because I was when funny story. I saw Rakim. He came here for a show,
Yeah.
and I was talking to him outside of his trailer, you know, outside the Ace Cafe before he went on. I was talking to him, and he was like, "Who are you?" Like, I was telling him all this history. I was telling him about old school Beatles, Kiss from tapes. I was telling him, I remember you in 1994, 98, 98, you know, here rocking. He was like, wow, I was a guy that didn't go to the parties, but I can hear the music from the block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was there, but I wasn't there. You know, I wasn't in Pete Rock's basement. But you know, all those dudes.
I love
they,
me some Pete Rock.
Right. They influenced me
Yeah.
to make music that way, you know. So
Yeah.
my success was like, oh, you did a song with MF Doom. People are tripping out. I said I did that in 2000. People said, you did a song with Capadonna? Yeah, I did that in 1992. You know, I did all these records back in the days, and people don't really know that. People don't know, like, my friend is myself. We started one of the first radio shows at WPRK back in 1992, before they even had rap. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when Magic Mike I know Magic Mike, Electric Avenue back in the days, Orlando. So I go back that far back. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not that guy. I'm just, you know, I was around and doing things, quiet success, if you will.
You're very humble about it. Like, when you know, you're like, no, I'm not that guy, but you are that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at it like that.
I love that you are like this. Please do not change, because people need
Just
to
people like,
humble
you know,
themselves.
they humble themselves. But there was a post about the Atlanta Weekly, and there was another guy on there. But long story short, he just said, "You're so humble. You give people chances. You didn't have to put these people on the album. A lot of people on the album. I mean, not just the stars, but a lot of people ate off this album because I gave them opportunities. So that's like, oh, I'm good, but I gave them opportunities. I remember I was trying to get put on, and
That's
people wouldn't give me
beautiful.
opportunities.
Of course
You
not.
know, so
Yeah.
I don't want to be the gatekeeper. There's a lot of gatekeepers in this business. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree with
So
you.
I didn't want to be a
100%.
gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I didn't want to give people opportunities, videographer, because I could have done it myself, but it would never get done. I need a videographer, need this, need that, blah blah, you know, whatever else.
I think I wrote I was writing, you know, I like to write, and I wrote something that said you are only as good as the team that you build around you.
Right.
And you really are, because okay, so I have all this on my plate. I'm not going to be able to do it in a timely manner. Let me give these jobs to these people because they are, and then we're sharing the wealth. We're sharing the success. But no, it's so rare. It's so
It's really
rare.
rare.
Like, I'm learning that. I'm like, can we all win? What, like, let me give to you what I like. Listen, I'm working at this event. Would you like to do what you do at this event? Because I know the guy, or whatever the case. But it's so rare,
You give
and
them
it breaks my
opportunities.
heart.
You give them
Yeah,
opportunities
I
to
mean,
do.
I don't even see it as me giving opportunities. It's, hey, I know somebody that knows somebody, and why wouldn't I share it? I'm not a DJ. Can you DJ? I'm not an MC. Can you MC? Whatever the case is, and then we all are there, all winning.
But it's gatekeepers, though. That's what it is. And people get jealousy and gatekeepers, and people don't want to
Yeah.
see you shine. You know.
I think that sometimes people are jealous of success because it's not even about the success, it's the person behind it. I'm learning within myself too that people who have been jealous or whatever the case is, it's not really that. They're mad because you don't got what they don't have what you got, or they're not you. And so it's not even just a jealousy thing, it's whatever you have that is missing in them, they want that. And instead of bringing you on so that it can be embraced and we can both do it, they'd rather shut you out, and then their voice is the only voice heard. So it's crazy.
Like envy.
And it's sad, though.
It's sad, but that's how it is. That's how life is. You know.
Not in my book.
Well, that shouldn't be. But
I refuse.
Some people live that. Some people live and die by that model, and it's not good. It's not good health wise, and it's not good in your internal space. You know.
Energy
Energy
is
exactly.
bad.
Energy's
yeah.
energy's bad.
When I first met you, and this is years, like I've known you years, I was like, that gentle ass man. Like that man is so gentle, so calm, so chill in a world and we're in a world of hip hop, right? So everybody's like wah, 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 you know, loud and boisterous. And that's not bad either, but it stands out. You always stood out to me. I was like, plus you're like 100 feet tall. I'm like, so the first time I met you, I was like, well, he's big, like, and you're just this gentle giant. But it's admirable to be who you are. Yeah, I really agree with that. So last time you were here, we didn't go deep. We didn't go into like your background and stuff like that. We didn't really talk about more deep things like that. I know that, you know, you lost your dad a few years ago. Gosh, there's a bug in here, guys. I have to laugh, but
get him out of
he's
here.
just trying to hang out with us.
Hang out, right, exactly.
Your mom's still here.
Yes, she lives
yes.
in North. Yeah,
and you post about her, and you're very proud of your mom and all that stuff. Do you have siblings?
I have a brother.
A brother.
One brother. Yeah.
Is he in the music industry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He MCs.
Okay.
So he was with me, my friend Iz, when we first did our first couple of records with Capadonna.
Okay.
Drastic Measures was like the first thing we did.
So that I've heard.
Back in 89,
okay.
1990. 91 is when I met Iz, so we got together. And actually, if you don't remember, the Insomniac magazine was created by Iz, and I was there with Iz when we first started. When he first started, I was just helping out. You know, he was my MC, and we doing beats, you know, whatever else. So back in 91, 92.
What got you into music?
I told a story. I told a story on a Rap Yard. My mom bought me my first Sugar Hill Gang tape in 1979, and man, I don't know if you remember. Kurt's Blow came out in 1980, The Breaks. So I had 2 of these tapes, and I was like, wow, you know, this hip hop, bebop, and I was like, wow. And I had one of them little old tape decks, the ones you pop up.
The cassette.
Thing,
if you don't know, children, look it up.
I put it in there.
Yeah.
And I got started from there. And then there was this Sugar Hill Gang Records, Sugar Hill Gang Records was a label, you know, was a nice little label. So I started seeing the Sequence, the Phyllis 4. I think there was on not Phyllis 4, but Treasures 3. So all these old school groups that were Mellow, Grandmaster Flash, early 1980s, you know, hip hop that was on record, and I was like, wow, I'm loving this. And then I just started going from there, and it just, you know, it became this thing. It's like hip hop is a beautiful thing, you know, hip hop, rap, and that's like I gotta have it. It became addictive like crack. You know?
He said crack. It's not a lie. What made you? Because it's different when you DJ, produce music. That's a different. Not everybody who DJs produces music,
right. And vice versa. Yeah.
And so that's a talent all in itself. What made you get into that?
DJing to me was because I was DJing first, and then I got into production. But the thing about it was I would be doing records, doing parties, and I would see the crowd, and I would be mixing cuts, records, and I would see the crowd dancing, and I was like, wow, because I have this beat at home that I'd make in my own studio, and I'd be sitting there, it's okay. But then I go out and go to parties, or I rock a party with the Russ, and I would be putting these little records here and there, and I would see the crowd reaction. I'm like, wow. So if I put this record together, this beat, and then make those people will be dancing and having a good time. Okay, let me throw an MC on there, and then it just kind of you know roll from there. It's just seeing, I got to see crowd reaction first. You know,
I get that. I feel like when it's nothing. I'm not on a stage. I'm not on nothing, but even this is like a rush. The reaction when people watch, when people chat with me, people, if you want. But all of that, I get it. It's that feeling of like, man, I'm doing something greater than myself.
Adrenaline.
Yeah. Truly. You trade. We talked about this.
We did, and we're going to get deeper into it because I think there's a lot of stuff that people don't realize. And I think if I may share, the record that I put out, you got to pay to play.
Of course.
You know, the MCs, they're not work for free. So the record, I got to press the records up, got to pay the pressing plant. You got to pay the videographers. You got to pay the people that mix engineers down, the studio time, all this stuff. So all that stuff I couldn't do from a 9-to-5 job. So you don't want to, because you see me in the street like, dang, John got a dope record, but he living over there off the side of the street. I was like, must be taking this 9-to-5 money and spending on MCs. You're not going to pay your rent, you know, your food and gas. That stuff is essentials. Yeah. Most people are not going to do that. So when you trade, you're trading with, I would say, house money. So when you trade, you can be successful. So that's what I've incorporated. And, you know, there's a story behind it. A lot of people don't want to hear it, but they're interested but they didn't want to hear it.
So what it is because they're like, well, I want the money that you're making off of trading,
Right.
but I don't really necessarily want the trading part.
Right.
I don't want to have to actually work in
Right.
that, learn it.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. Initially, this is even before you and knowing you, I was just like trading, like, it's a scam. Like that's how I used to think back in the day, because you don't know, and so you assume everything's a scam until it's not, right? But then learning from you a little bit, and I'm like, well, he's paying for all of his things out of his own pocket, which is, I don't know a lot of MCs or anybody that can do that.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
So
Because they can't.
yeah, because that's what I'm saying. They can't.
It's not a
yeah.
diss to them.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just they
no,
can't.
no. It's just they don't know. I don't
No,
know.
they
I
can't.
don't know what I'm doing. I would be a liar if I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be. No, I have no
But it's
idea.
knowledge.
But it is,
It's knowledge.
and I think the thing is that people are scared of anything that they don't know about.
Right.
So,
I'm the same way, but it's knowledge.
and then there's a time and a place you talk about it, like a podcast, or even like we're gonna create something, we're gonna work on something. You're
'Cause it's
hearing
time
it
to give
first
back.
here. Yeah, give back
It's
and
time to give
learn
back.
and help other women. And
Other women,
there's
yeah.
a lot of women in the music industry that probably could be helped by this.
Right,
So
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's all about giving
you're
back.
gonna start doing workshops and things like
Yes.
that, right?
Most definitely, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power, and then it's I feel like it would be a miss to not help people or not teach that power.
You have to get back.
You can't be out here just collecting all the money yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's what some people
Yeah.
do, though.
I mean, I agree, but
there's
you're
some
not
people
that.
that don't
You're
care
not some
about that.
people. Yeah.
So I don't try to be that way. I try to help people
Yeah.
and try to give back to them.
What got you to even think about that?
Giving back
Or no, trading in general.
because I couldn't put my music out, and
Okay.
I was struggling. And my friend had my friend and I created Gas Rich Records about 2018, and we were just doing stuff. And I said, you know what, we're gonna be just doing stuff until something else happens.
Mhm.
You know, because all these other labels you hear. It takes money to inject, like your friend was talking about
Yeah.
studio stuff.
Yeah.
So I said, and then I said the blueprint. I would send records out, beats and stuff, nothing. I would basically beg, borrow, steal, nothing. We would work with MCs, nothing. So in front of me, I said, what you're doing is not working. He said, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get some big names on your projects, put your name on there, and then you have to be the artist. Because I didn't want to be on the record. I didn't want to be in front of the camera. I just wanted
But
to be
you
behind
are
the
the
scenes.
artist. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. But now people got to see, you're on the billboard, you're in the magazine, this and that. You got to be that person. And then you can work with other people and be the executive producer or produce, get your hand, whatever you want to do.
Someone
know.
once told me, actually a good friend of mine, shout out to Jay Johnson, who said that you are the product. You are. It's sad. And I don't even think it's sad. I don't think it's sad because I used to just want to tell someone's story and not really be the face of my own podcast. It was outrageous.
Right.
It's outrageous how I was thinking. But to wrap your head around, you are your product. It doesn't matter how many big names you have on your album. The only reason people are going to really listen to it is you.
Right.
So then I get that. I get that now. I didn't get that 6 months ago or even a year ago.
I didn't
you know?
think of it that way.
Yeah, yeah,
When I put the record out, I was like, they was like, who's going to be on the album cover? Well, I'll make something else. I got to be you.
yeah.
I was like, me? I don't want to be on the album cover. I don't want people like, oh, this is like, I don't know. It's like kind of weird. But I said, that's what you have to do. So the blueprint was, you have to do it. You got to get in the car and drive and then go pick up the people, whatever else. You're the bus driver.
Yeah.
You can't just sit around
I learned that.
let it happen.
I agree.
You have to make it happen. So I think there's a record, Pete Rock or Diamond D, or I can't remember, but it said, oh, I'm sorry, it was Ultramagnetic MCs, and the song that said, "Make it happen, baby, make it happen." That's my point.
You're gonna tell me you don't have a radio voice?
No, I don't.
can't stand you right now.
No, I
like
don't.
I don't have a radio voice.
No.
Make it happen, baby.
My friend has a radio voice. I don't have one.
No, but yeah, make it happen.
Make it happen.
I'm learning a lot. I'm not an industry person. Like I know I am now, but I was never the principle behind this was just to tell a story,
Right.
to share, to give somebody a platform for me to ask questions that I'll probably ask anyway. You know me,
Right.
how I talk. I just talk, right? But yeah, you learn that you are your product. You are the industry. You make it what you want it to be.
Exactly.
but it is hard without money.
It is hard without money.
It's hard without money. It's hard without, but
You need money to put it out.
I'm so glad that you found a way to do that that's genuine, because a lot of times people wouldn't find, that's a whole nother job,
Well,
right? People will find the shortcut or manipulate their way up to the top. So
Well, when we first started this label, like I said, we were just running the mill, and it wasn't this to nobody. So I said, I got to do something,
yeah.
right? We were just doing things. So for 2 years, now I was a hip hop junkie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging records, going parties every year for since 1986. So 2 years, it was 2020, I think, on COVID. I said, I'm not doing this anymore for now. So I
that's
shut
around
out.
the time I kind of met you, maybe
Yeah,
2021.
I shut out music. So that meant for 2 years, I didn't make a beat. I didn't listen to radio. I just spent 2 years in training and trading. And I was trading, like learning 15, 16 hours a day, just straight. I wasn't going to beer commission. I wasn't going to
That's
Austin's. I
crazy.
wasn't going to. And then, my friend just kind of did the record label himself, and he was working on a couple hours here and there. And I said, I'm going to come back in 2 years, and you're going to see the difference. Because we didn't have no top name artists because nobody could afford it.
Yeah.
So then when I came back, the whole game changed. I said, well, now I'm sitting around. I said, you know what? Okay, I put the record out with not Master, but Craig G. The first time I wrote Rusty Jux,
Yeah.
Matt Hills, and a few other people. And it was just, I put it out. It was written in the Orlando Weekly. I said, okay. Then around the time I started getting more in the industry, when I started meeting you, I said, I got these sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So the sister came out, and that was 2025.
Yeah.
And then this year, I got the record. I said, now I'm going full steam because I have the money to do it.
Yeah.
Now everyone's seeing, because I wasn't posting on Facebook. I was gone. They were like, I wonder if he's dead, alive, whatever. Where's he at?
That's around the time I came into into your life.
Right.
You had just kind of come
I'm
back
coming
from.
back.
You were just coming back.
And they saw me with all these names, and I joined Low Life
Yeah.
3 years ago. So I said, I'm gonna, I'm doing all these networking. Now it's just exploding.
I do love the
You
Low
know?
Life family.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. You're
You
gonna be tomorrow at
Yes.
Beer Commission
Yes.
with all of them,
All of them,
celebrating your
All of them.
album. All of them.
All of
I
them.
mean, people are coming.
They're
Like,
coming,
yeah.
yeah.
So
They're coming.
it's funny because I want to talk about that a little bit, because you don't usually do those things.
I don't.
Yeah.
I figured it was time for me to do something. It's like a celebration of
Of
music,
all of it,
yeah.
yeah.
All the frustrations. But
Yeah.
I mean, I ask artists all the time, can you do this for 2 years? They said, no, I couldn't do that. Even beat producers. I talked to Al and Sydney and all the other people,
Yeah.
Tourist, Yvonne. No, I couldn't do that. I said I gave it up cold turkey for 2 years. That means I had all these beats. I didn't turn my drum machine on. I didn't turn my Pro Tools on. Didn't open the records. Nothing.
How did that feel though? Because I feel like after this episode I'll have one more, and I'm kind of taking a little break. I have some house stuff I got to deal with, but I feel like I have to still do something. To do nothing for 2 years, how does that feel? Do you feel like you're dying like a slow death? Because that's crazy.
I didn't do music, but the trading is what I did full time.
Yeah.
So that consumed all my time. I had to learn everything I needed to learn because I was only to be ready in 2 years. Because I've been trading, but then I got 2 years, and then I said, okay, now I'm ready to go on because I've been trading since 2018. So I've been trading kind of part time. Now I'm full time. But I had to learn. I had to give up. They say, okay, I got to give up the food for Lent or this and that, whatever. I just had to
Better than me, I don't give.
I had to focus on it and get busy with it.
Yeah.
And now the trading's so easy now. It's just like when I look at charts and look at these things here, that's like, wow. And I got it now. I understand how these people are making this big money and whatever else. They doing all this numbers. I'm like, wow. Now I can work with these people. Now I can go and have a dream is to do a record or song with Method Man or Redman or Bahamadia. That costs serious money.
Yeah.
Queen of Rage wants $5,000. Method Man wants $8,000, $9,000. That's like play. You can't do that with your own money.
Yeah.
But if you got money, it's not thrown away. I'm not going to make $1 million off it. What I'm saying? It's not, but it's going to come back to me. I have the opportunity to work with this artist, with Premier or Pete Rock or whatever. You know what I'm saying? These are bucket list things for me.
Yeah.
At this point in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. Exactly.
Living the dream. I love that. I don't know that I could leave something fully that I love.
It was hard.
For 2 years.
It was hard, but I knew the outlook. I knew what was down the road.
Yeah. You're seeing the bigger picture
And
of
if I
it
just
all. Yeah.
didn't do that, we would just be running the mill. I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you.
That's
Seriously.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be having an album release party. I wouldn't have all these things You know, you see all these people on Instagram here, and I wouldn't be working Craig G. Craig G from the Juice Crew, you know, Master Ace and Big Daddy Kane and Coogee Rap, Marley Marl. That was just like the essence. So now I call him up like I call, you know, talk to you, text a message to you. He's like a brother now. I never would imagine that. You know, he's like the legendary dude from New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From that era. I was from the era. So, you know, I'm able to call these people up. I can call Master Ace up. I can call Spiff and Wesson. I can talk to them. You know, just, you know, yeah, I got a party, whatever else. They know who I am. That means the best of the world. I met all my...
Does the reward of taking those 2 years out overlap the because I'm sure there was sadness. I'm sure
it was a lot of sadness.
I'm sure there was like emptiness because I know you.
I saw those parties and I wanted to go so bad.
Yeah, of course.
But
there was times where I'm like,
but it's like your
where's
mom
this
saying,
guy at? Like, you know,
you can't go out tonight.
Yeah,
you know, you're in high school. You know,
no, that's what I'm saying. So like, do you feel like it was all worth that?
I think it was all worth it.
Okay.
And the more I'm getting,
then I get that. Then
the more it was sad for a while because I just didn't do anything. You know, make beats. I would hear beats. I had to stop looking at Facebook. I see, new beat produced. So I gotta go back and make a beat. It's like, nope.
I'm thinking of like, do I not have my socials when I'm on this break? Do I? But at the end of the day, I feel like, well, I have to. Like, you know, sometimes God has a way of sitting you down when you need to be sat, right? So I know I have to take this break. But I'm just that was a pure question for myself, like, because I don't even. I'm going
hard.
Through it, like just thinking about it, because when you work so hard to build something so beautiful that is yours, regardless of what anybody else thinks. I don't do this show contrary to popular belief for anyone else. Like, it really isn't. It's about the person sitting right there and this person right here, because I love it. And I do a lot of other things. You know, I'm always at these events, always working at that. So like, to not do that, I feel trapped a little, like enclosed, but I know I have to. So it's just, I'm just getting advice from the big brother, like, how do you do it? Because it's mind over matter, I know, but shit.
I looked at the long, I looked at the long term.
Yeah.
I looked at what will happen if I looked at this. I put it on a plan. I said, if I do this, then this will happen. Because I even tell my friend, I said, you know what? I'm going to show the Ross. I said, in couple of years, just watch. You're gonna see this. The guy said, okay, you know, whatever, you know, they say whatever. And then, like, when the album came in, I said, a lot of people's lives are going to change. March 9th, I got the album. I was talking to a lot of my friends. I said, once this 100 records come in, a lot of people's lives are going to change, including myself. And that's what happened.
So I got to tell you this, because my youngest son, you know, I've been playing your album at home or whatever, and he said, good job. I told him I'll tell you, good job.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, good job. Because it just feels like you. Like, I get to know you in this album. Like, that's how it feels. I'm like, oh, that's such a JayMob thing. Like, yeah. So congratulations on that.
Thank
because
you.
It takes probably your whole life to get to an album where someone could be like, oh, this is JayMob's. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
What is on your bucket list otherwise? Now you got this out. What's on your bucket list? Who's on your bucket list? You said Method Man, Red Man. You said
Rakim, KRS-One, MC Light, Latifah. You know, you can go on.
Inductees into the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you. Yeah. Congratulations.
Wu-Tang. You know, RZA. You know,
all them.
The people I grew up with. You know, in that era. I'm from that era.
The golden era.
The golden
of
era of hip hop.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Of course, that's special. What are you going to do next? What's next?
Well, I think like once I start doing, because I love still doing beats, but I want to become like an executive producer. I want to start working with other people, giving other people opportunities to shine.
Everybody.
You know, that type of thing. Trying to help people out.
Dirty Bakers is on. Hi guys, love y'all. They said JayMob fire.
Peace,
There's always I love. Can we talk about the support?
Yes.
Like supporting the industry, because I will tell you, the Dirty Bakers, the Sydneys, the Al, I love you. Like they really back you up. I feel differently now than I did when I was first starting and I was kind of finding my own groove, because sometimes when you're backed by a team or you're backed by people that really love the industry just like you, it just feels different.
Right.
Are you still affiliated with Gasfit?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. I mean, hey, It's lasted this long, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad about that. And
Yes.
then executive producer. If you could produce somebody's album, who would it be?
It'd be Rakim.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
It'd
I
be
can see
Rakim.
that.
It'd be Rakim.
Okay,
It'd
Rakim.
be dope to have Rakim in the
Rakim.
studio, or Dr. Dre be
Yeah.
in the studio with these legends and just
Yeah.
kind of just absorb all of the information.
The
you know,
stories
all
that they
stuff,
can
yeah.
tell.
Yeah.
I feel like if I could be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you want. You
Yeah.
want to be able to
Yeah.
live the life
Yeah.
that you couldn't live before. You know, so
Yeah.
you do it now because you have the opportunities. God has given me these opportunities, and I'm just going to take full advantage of them because now is the time.
If who do you think out there, even if it's a local person, because we know a lot of really
We
great
do.
local artists,
We do.
who would you want to produce? That's someone that's local to Orlando, or someone you even know that you're like, damn, that talent.
I mean, there's Javi that I bumped into. He's a dope MC.
Okay.
Of course, SB's on the record, and I've done some songs with him. But I'm going to work on doing a full album with him. He's dope.
Okay.
I always want to work with Matt Ills, so I got a couple of joints with Matt Ills in the last record. So I'm
Yeah.
just kind of going through the list. There's another guy named Frankie, but he goes by Freak, MC Freak. Super dope MC.
So how do I not know him?
Well, he
'Cause
does a
he
lot.
doesn't-
He does
I
a
don't
lot of
know him.
he does a lot of house and trance and jungle, but he does MC. He just moved over
Okay,
there, and we're
okay.
not. You know, we're kind of hip hop, so
Yeah.
we stay.
No, but
kinda,
I listen to all of it.
Yeah,
so
but we
you
go to a
know.
lot of the hip hop
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
But he's over here doing that. But he's still dope. He came from hip hop, so he's another dope MC that I
Okay.
want to work with. So you know, there's a few people here and there that
Yeah.
I have my eyes on. You know, that I can
I
do.
mean, it's out there. I feel like Orlando is not given the props or whatever you want to call it. Given
Agreed. Agreed.
There's
Agreed.
beautiful. There's great MCs. There's great DJs. There's just so much talent
Here, yeah, no.
that people are not. I don't know.
They get overlooked.
People are like it's overlooked.
Overlooked, yeah.
I mean, you get a lot of people from Cali. You get a lot, and no disrespect to anybody because they're still just as talented, if
Right.
not more. I'm not gonna say New York, but like Orlando's really doing stuff.
They are doing
Orlando's
stuff.
really doing good,
Yeah.
and I'm proud of a lot of people. Like I've known people for years, and I'm like, man. And I know people that from Atlanta, you know, that left here to go to Atlanta for music, but
Yeah.
I'm like, nah.
Just here, yeah, you
Orlando,
gotta make it here.
yeah,
Yeah,
is
and-
doing
and
it. It
That's
really
the reason
is.
why I put the record out, because now people
Yeah.
are saying, "Damn, this dude's from Orlando." I'm getting people from New York, Atlanta, LA, you know, Europe, whatever. That's like, "Damn, you in Orlando? Orlando got like that now?" You know, because they're looking.
It's been like that,
Right, it's
like
been like
right,
that,
but
yeah.
nobody knows.
No one knows, right?
Yes.
So you just giving them a piece, like a microscope, to see. Oh yeah, that they got it going on over there. I didn't know like that. I didn't know they was this.
Yeah,
that, you
and
know
I
what I'm saying?
really wish that there was more camaraderie. Like I'm not saying that there isn't, but we could do better because
do
if
better.
we elevated each other and worked more with each other, it would bring
It would.
more eyes.
Most
I really
definitely.
do agree with
Yeah,
that.
I agree
Yeah,
with that too, big
But
time.
the Dirty Bakers, the VRMMs, my sponsors, all these people, you Gasface, all them people that are bringing this to the light, and
Right.
that I
You have
appreciate
to.
it. Yeah,
You have to, because if it doesn't, who else gonna do it?
nobody, not a
Nobody.
damn soul.
Not a
That's why it
damn
hasn't
soul,
been
so we
done.
have to do it.
It hasn't been done.
That's
Yeah,
part of our
yeah,
job.
yeah.
The record was not just because I wanted to put it out, but it was a statement. It needed to be put out. It needed to say, okay, you're Orlando. You put Orlando on the map. Now
Yeah.
people know, because now Craig G's coming down here
Yeah.
twice now. Russell Juxta's been down here. I didn't know he had his family down here. You know, Smith and Wesson came down here. You know, so people are down. They're coming down
Rock.
here.
We, we just saw him, like
right.
all
So
of that, like all these great.
they're
I
coming
mean,
down
Jay
here.
Electronica
Right,
was just here,
exactly.
like all of that.
They're
And
coming.
and 10 years ago,
They
where we
weren't.
used to, we had to go to another
Right,
city, or we
right.
need to go to Atlanta, or you need to be in
Coming
New
here
York.
now.
Yeah,
Wu-Tang is
at-
coming here.
yeah,
You know, they're coming
I'm
here.
actually gonna be there.
Right, September 27th.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming.
yeah.
They're coming here. I'm
Yeah.
going to that show too. That's
Oh, I
that's
know.
tour.
It's like, so my brother moved back. He lived in Louisiana for a few years, and I'm like, Wu-Tang, like, because
right, yeah.
we grew up on all this music. Like
Right.
even he heard your album and he was like, who's that? And I was like, you don't know, like,
Right.
and I'm putting my brother onto some music, and it's
Right.
crazy. He's
Feels
my
good,
older
though.
brother, but
Yeah,
it
yeah, it feels
does,
good,
and that I'm so proud that I know these people
Right.
and I know you, and like good music doesn't
Right.
have to be a big label, and
No,
good
don't.
music doesn't have to be flashy, and it's not about that. Like,
From the heart. Comes
honestly,
from the heart.
truly, all
From
that.
the heart. That's
I
what it
know
is.
you could be the tough guy in the hood and blah blah blah, and we're all whatever, but good music. That's why I love Nas so much,
Right.
because he kind of did something against the grain when everybody went one way and
Right.
real into, like, the drugs and this and the he just stayed in his
Stayed
lane,
his lane and kept going.
and
with
I
it.
didn't I that's why I loved him. That's why, I'm a Brooklyn girl.
Right.
I should be in love with Jay-Z, and I'm not disliking Jay-Z, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan, but it's just like there's something about Nas that just stood out and staying out. Like,
Right.
he was going this way and everybody else was doing all their thing here,
Right,
and
right.
everybody was more trying to be alike,
Right.
and it don't got to be like that.
He was one of
Yeah.
a kind.
Yeah.
That's kind of like when I put the record out, because people were asking me, "Can you get it on Spotify?" I said, "No." "Can you get it on Apple Music?" I said, "No." I said, "Well, where can I get it? It's on your website." I said, "No." They're like, they don't understand. I said, "This is how they did it back in the days, a physical product. Now, I will put it on those social media sites, but people are like, where can I get it? You got to get it directly from me." So that means I get to know you one-on-one,
Yeah.
right? So if you buying from me, that means you like my music or you want to check it out. So once I get the information, then I get to talk to that person versus just be the number on Spotify. Funny thing about it, if I put the music on Spotify and got 20,000 streams, I make more money selling it out of my trunk, because it's from me to you. There's no
I mean,
middleman.
yeah,
And
I
can
agree
get
with that. Yeah.
So I've made more money doing that. And I've sold enough records now, and I broke even. Not many people around here can do that.
Yeah.
People love records, but how many people can sell records out of their trunk or sell it, door to door when I'm out going here
Whatever.
and
Yeah.
there? Right? They can't do that. So that means
No.
people can see you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's this record. Oh, okay, what you got? Da-da-da, boom, da-da-da,
I didn't even think of it like that, but I like that. I mean, I know you to be a person of the people where you like that one-on-one contact.
do,
You like you've always been like that, but I never thought of it in that perspective of like, it's now you're not just creating music, but you're creating an experience.
Right.
You're getting to meet someone. You're getting to have a conversation. It's beyond just that. You're creating relationships.
Here's a story. One of our good friends at the Beer Commission, she doesn't have a record player, but I had these records with sisters, and my focus was sisters.
Yeah.
Nothing against guys, but it was
but
sisters.
yeah.
So I said I had to have sisters on wax, and then my man Al was like, "Man, I looked around IVMM. I said I haven't seen it like that." I said that's the whole point. So she went on and bought a record player because she wanted to listen on the record. So then when I got this new record, I gave her that record, and she's like, "You know what? Damn, it's cool because you're the reason why I went out and bought a record player. I wasn't had no idea about a record player. Now she goes
It's nothing like listening
right
to
now. She's
something
going
on
to
a
record stores and
yeah.
buying records and stuff.
Yeah.
She
I
wasn't
love that.
doing it. So I was like, for her, that was that experience. I gave her that experience. Was like, wow, that beats selling 1 million records. Just hearing that, you know what I mean?
And music is about experience.
It
It's
is.
about connections, right? But we've forgotten that shit.
Yeah,
we've forgotten that why did we go to the parties? Why did it was the music, but it was also the whole experience
The whole
behind
experience,
it.
right?
And
That's
I love
why I
that.
did. That's why I'm
Yeah.
bringing the record back, and that's kind of the reason why I'm doing that, was to bring the experience back. A lot of people just want to put music out and blah blah blah. I'm like, this is the experience of doing it. You're going in the experience. You're getting on the bus and riding. We're riding down that road.
You did make me feel like I was going back home
That's
a
the
little
whole point.
bit.
That's the whole
No,
point.
I
is to
love
go
that for
back.
you. I love that for you. I love
Right,
that you did that for me.
Yeah,
like
that's what it's
that.
all
My
about.
my 14-year-old son was like, "Well, what is this?"
Right.
He had never. I mean, I have records at home, but it was like I had never like, "Hey, look, my friend made an album," and he was just like, "Okay,
What? Right. They don't get that.
So I said, "Hold on." play the thing, and
Right.
we play records at home, like it wasn't like he never seen one, but that I
It's
brought
different.
one, like it's different me going to the record store and picking some up rather than like, oh, I just had this one that I brought home. Look, my friend made
Right.
this, and he was just like, wow. And then I played it, and I'm a dancer. I like to dance all around the house, and I was just like, oh man. He was like, "Mommy, this friend made you happy or
Right.
whatever." He was like, I was like, "That's the whole point."
The point. You
That's
gave your
the whole
son.
point.
You gave your son that journey
Mm-hmm.
of what you had, and
Mm-hmm.
brought him into the light. Because kids back in the, now they don't know about
They
the old
don't,
school. So until
and
we
they don't even
teach them,
care.
right?
Yeah.
Until we teach them, and let them see the love that we have for it, then they can appreciate it.
Yeah, and my kids have an eclectic taste in music, and I mean, I attribute that to probably me, maybe their dad a little, but
Mm.
like I'm very much like love all genres of music, listen to everything from jazz. I'll elevator music. I'll
Right.
listen to
Right.
that,
Yeah.
and then I'll even go a little bit country. Like
Right.
I'm just and no in between. I love it all. So I think that they know that and they have heard that their whole life, but they are more hip hop heads than probably anything. Like they so when they heard yours, and then I'm like, I gotta get one. I gotta go send one to Hawaii because my oldest probably would love it because
Yeah.
he's more into the old music. So but I thank you for that. I
Yep.
thank you for giving me the experience, bringing you on. I want to talk real quick because you'll be at the DJ Summit. Are you doing something there? I want to talk about stuff that you're doing a little bit.
Yeah, I spoke to those guys, and I'm gonna be on the panel,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to work on a workshop. But the thing is, you got to have people to come there.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
trying to see. I'm gonna work with Al to see what
we
I can do, and I don't want to have nobody there. I need at least 15 people.
But also,
so,
yeah, you need to also, I mean, there's so many things that you can do even before then to like kind of, I mean, I would even rent a space, studio space, and do something like that even for yourself, and where
Yeah.
you can share the knowledge that you
Right,
have.
right. I thought about doing that.
We'll help. We'll talk.
Yeah,
We'll
I
talk
thought about
more.
doing that because like what we did at the studio, showing them how to trade. So they're like, okay, well, what's the storyline behind this? Well, the storyline is I'm a person that came out of, I'm in Orlando now, but there's a lot of people like me that want to do what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? They want to put out music, or not just that, they want to invest in themselves. They can't do it because they don't have the money. So you're like, well, I'm not really interested in how you put the record out. How do you do that? So everyone has their own reason for coming. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, if I keep a journal, I use trading to finance the music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I did it. So you could get a piece of the action or listen to how it is. You get the record heads. Well, we want to know how you did the record. Well, I am a photographer or I'm a model, but I can't afford the fancy
It's whatever
things.
you
Right,
love, whatever
right.
you want to do, and that's the thing. Maybe paint it a different way for people to understand, because I don't think that you're not. It's very understandable. Like it's not. It's not
Yeah.
rocket science. You chose this whatever these means, right? Trading to get to the outcome of being able to create and produce all the music that you want.
100%.
It goes, if I wanted to get into that so that I can buy a studio space and create more content or do more when it comes to what I love, you can use trading. It's not like they don't need to think about it as creating like an album. Whatever reason, whatever passion that you have that you don't have enough funds for,
Right.
this could be an outlet. That's
Right.
all it is.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
agree. It's just a matter of it's a matter of getting it out there.
maybe using less words, because sometimes people
Yeah, I know.
people are gonna people and they overthink these things.
Yeah,
But
they
at
do.
the end of the day, this is what you can do. I can give you the tools so that you can do this, but you got to learn it and you got to do the work. But you get what you love at the end of it.
Yeah, it's all a win-win. Because you got to work anyway. You got to work in music to be.
Yeah, it's
whatever
not
you
easy.
are.
None of the things that you want in life are
It's
easy.
right? It's just
Anyway,
they want to do the music, but they don't want to do the trading part.
yeah,
And we're not going to do 2 years. I'm not telling you to do 2 years. You do it.
Correct.
Everyone has their own journey.
correct.
You know,
It's
but-
just this is what I did.
Right.
I think sometimes people are so like stuck in the same routine of doing the same thing, and sometimes you need. I'm not saying take the 2 years. I'm not taking. Listen, I don't even want to take the however long I need to take because I don't know yet. But I don't want to take the time. But sometimes you got to take the time in order to continue to do what
Right.
you love. If I don't take this time now, I don't know that I'll be around to take
Right.
to be, you know.
Right.
So it's like sometimes you don't want to to trade. Sometimes you don't want to get that second job, but
Right.
if it's going to get you to where you want, then do it.
Right.
And that's where sometimes people these days don't want that hard
Like
work.
the motivation.
Yeah.
And
They want the fame, they want the money that comes with the fame, they want the notoriety without the damn hard work.
Right.
But in life, everything's hard
work. Right.
everything's hard work.
Right.
Like, I don't just come up here and just say, okay, I had a conversation and then dead my whole podcast. I have to work behind the scenes
Right.
every day.
Every day, right.
I have to be on social. Some days I don't want to be on social. Some days I want to be in quiet mode and just mind my business.
Right.
I love people, don't get me wrong, but it's, you have to self-motivate, and that's what is missing in this
Right.
world.
That's what's
Like
all
right
about.
now, everybody's like, I just want that, but I want to
Don't
be
work that
here
way.
and then
Right.
just want to come to me.
Right. Don't work that way. You got to work
No,
for it.
no. So if trading is not their cup of tea, fine. But at least it's an outlet. It's another way. It's another means to an end. That's all
That's
it
just
is.
one thing they can do.
Yeah,
They can sell
absolutely.
houses. They could do
Whatever.
third drawings, whatever it is to do it.
Strip. I don't care.
yeah.
Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Right,
care what
right.
you do. Just do
I
whatever.
just did that.
But
Trading
yeah.
was the thing I did.
Yeah.
I focus on that.
But in a long run, I'm sure, I don't know anything about trading, but I'm sure with some lessons and teaching, then it will come natural.
That's
or
generational wealth.
come understanding,
That's
right?
generational wealth.
People are so scared of what they don't understand, they'd rather say they don't want it.
But trading to me,
Yeah.
even if I wasn't doing music, I would still be trading because I'm setting myself up because I know Social Security ain't going to be around.
Well,
You know what I'm
so-
saying? So you need to have money.
I'm like,
a nest
we
egg,
need what we gonna live in?
right?
Yeah,
You need a
yeah.
nest egg. Most people today don't even have $2,000 in a savings account. If
Yeah.
the world ended today, they don't have $2,000 in a savings account. They're
Yeah.
living check to check, and it's not a diss to them or anybody
No,
else.
this is the world today.
reality.
It's the
Right,
world
reality.
today. This
Nobody has
country is
savings.
Yeah, it's
No
hard.
savings.
Yeah,
So I always say that you have to have savings.
yeah.
If you don't have savings, then you're really cutting yourself short. And I know people, I'm bills, cut check to check, da da da
Yeah,
da.
yeah.
But if you don't have savings, what are you doing? And I learned that the hard way. I didn't have savings for a long time.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I was just out there, just
Yeah.
out there in the wind. But now you got to get it all controlled and mapped down because you never know when that rainy day comes. It's not even about music. It's not about this and that. It's about taking care of your people, your children. You want your children to be teaching my 14-year-old niece how to trade. You know what I'm saying? So when she gets out there, she can make money on her own. She doesn't have to be dependent on the man. Not saying that's good or bad, but she just self-dependent. You know what I'm saying?
I just think that creating generational wealth,
That's important.
it's important.
For people
but
of color,
that's all. I
you
never
know how
had
that
it.
goes.
Oh,
We-
I don't know.
we can
We
go
was
back.
poorer than poor.
We can go
like-
back to Malcolm X and we can talk about 400 years of slavery.
Yeah, but
and
we can. But it's
we're
just that
behind.
at
We're
the end
behind.
of this, at the end of the day,
we're behind.
and we'll say in America, I'll say it.
We're
it's
behind.
just we are.
We're so far behind.
We are, and we are in mentality too that we don't think about. What am I leaving behind besides me? Like, you know
Right,
what I
that's
mean?
what
I
I'm
want to
saying.
leave something.
Right.
I want to keep people. I came from, listen, when I tell you we were poor, I didn't even realize how poor we were until my poor friends said we were poor. Like, it was that kind of poor.
Right.
Fine, but I don't want to always be that, and
Right.
I don't care about money in this general sense of it's not important to me. It's important to have it because we need to live a good life and
Right.
we need to provide all of that. I'm not money hungry. I don't care, but I do want my kids to be better off than what
Right.
I was,
That's the whole point.
and leave them with better
Right.
than I ever was left.
That's
You
the
know what
whole
I
point,
mean?
yeah.
And that's the point. It has nothing to do with like, oh, if you don't want to do trading, then do something. But we have the mindset of just living for the now and not realizing
Because we have been trained.
no,
been
nobody
trained.
nobody
When
told
my
us talked
family-
about money.
And when the family was telling me about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you work for 400 years for free and you laboring for somebody else, you're going to get paid. These big companies have gotten paid. So at the same point in time, now I've learned how these big companies are trading and making money. They trade $6 trillion on Wall Street every day.
It's
Every day.
crazy. It's
And then
crazy.
if the market tanks, they'll grab 7 trillion from somewhere and put it back in the market. I'm sure you've seen it on, when Google has a bad year or bad month, they get money from somewhere. So there's money with being pushed in the market. So I'm
I
like,
have no idea because I'm still poorer than Google.
So I'm like, I just want not even 1%.
Yeah,
What's 1% of $7 trillion? I
Like,
don't
it's
even want that.
ridiculous,
I
yeah.
just want 0.0001% of that. That might be 70,000, 100,000. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't need to be. I'd rather be 100,000 there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rather than a millionaire. I'm good with 50,000 there. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think money's important to
Live comfortable.
Exactly. But it changes people, so we
It
just
does.
got to be careful
It
about
does.
that. But
It does. It does.
that's all. That's
as
all.
long as you have your soul.
This and this.
Right, your soul and your mind, and you
him.
understand, and him, then you're good.
You're good.
That's what it's all about.
Tell everybody where they can find you. We gotta wrap this up, but I
You
love
can
this
find me
conversation.
on Instagram with the real JayMob. You can find me on Facebook at John Noon. You can find me on GasFaceRecords.com. You can find me in any local neighborhood hip hop spot. I'm out there. I'm everywhere.
Tomorrow you can find him
You see me
where?
at the beer commission. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm just here. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me on the show, my sister.
All right, guys. Listen, brother, you're my brother for life.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
guys. Like he said, tomorrow, actually, Low Lives is having
Right.
a full ass weekend.
Last weekend, Low Life weekend.
Low Life Weekend starting tomorrow night.
Love and
Actually,
Loyalty.
Love and Loyalty
Loyalty,
Weekend.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's tomorrow at Commission Beer Chamber. It's starting from early, right? There's 4 to 7 is like what? Destroy's
Destroy,
gonna be
yeah.
out there, and then all the Low Lives, all like whoever is making some buzz in Orlando is gonna be
Exactly.
out there. So.
Exactly.
He's gonna be out there celebrating his new album.
Exactly.
I'll be joining you
Come
for a
on,
little
check
bit.
it out, get a drink.
Yeah,
hang out with the stars
so
and share
yeah.
the beauty of Orlando's hip hop. You know.
it's gonna be nice. So I love you guys for watching. Thank you. Bye.
I've got a story. Real talk, real people, real conversation. Week to week, this the place to get your inspiration. Go and sit back and unwind, sipping on your coldest glass of wine. This the home of girl bosses and the warriors. Went from tragedy to triumph and it's glorious. Ain't no question if they ask, they got that fire. This the podcast that came to Aspire. Welcome to Aspire Podcast, home of the real talk, real people, real stories. Give it up one time for y'all hosts.